Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tyen, and if you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Welcome, 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 everyone. I'm about to do a few things here. This is the first video that I'm going to release today. Welcome to the open portal / winter solstice. What does this mean for the collective? What this means is that there are planets that are in alignment, Jupiter being one that is in conjunct. And for those of you that have the sign of Gemini, it is time for you to double down on the energy. Really take advantage of this energy for manifestation purposes, whether that's money, health, wealth, love, relationships, career, etc. Now, what is the big deal about today's portal? Is the world going to end? I beg to differ. But the world as we used to know it has already ended. And so now we're stepping into what I call a new divine world order, or DWO instead of NWO. Because all of the energies that were here, that were anchoring us down, dumbing down our consciousness, making us feel like as if we're stuck, those energies are being uplifted with higher energies. Let me introduce you to my big brother, who is Jesus Christos, known on the earth as Jesus Christ. This portal is about Christ consciousness, and I will be discussing that. This is titled The Second Coming of the Christ, and I want to let you know who the Christ is. Well, at least the second Christ, because I'll be talking about the first Christ, who is misunderstood, has been misconstrued, who would like to take you, for those of you that are truth seekers, down a road of truth, to face a different reality than what you were told about Jesus Christ. But first, in no particular order, let me talk about the second coming, because really, honestly, that is the whole purpose of this video and why I felt that this carried a significance. This portal is Christos energy, okay? Now, my spiritual guides are named the Crystals. They're very high-ranking guides that are part of Christ's consciousness. So my guides don't curse, okay? But they are very love-centered beings that are now here, and they have been here even before COVID, okay? To help to raise the love frequency and the love vibration, which is known as Sophia, for those of you that are in Sufism, and you would know about this energy, because this is love-based energy, and this is the energy that we need to be in instead of the energy of fear. Every time you walk around, you're seeing all these masks. All that does is reinforce the agenda, which I'm not going to get into, not on this video. We'll get into that. I have a guest speaker that's coming this Sunday, and he is definitely, I deem it an honor to be able to have him on my platform. Seriously, because YouTube basically brung down his whole channel. He had to start a new channel because he was just hitting gems and knowledge that He has well researched. He did not suck it out of his thumbs. And it ruffled the feathers of the powers that be. So he will be a guest speaker this coming Sunday. Mark your calendar for December the 27th at 7 p.m. Now that 7 p.m. is tentative, okay, because we're on 2 different time zones. So I am still waiting for a confirmation if that's still going to work for him or not. Hopefully it does, but you never know. I'm not going to hold my breath, but if anything changes, I will update you. I will let you know. But so far, so good. Back to what I was saying. There are very majestic energies that are here now. These energies are here for us to manifest. During the winter solstice, the powers that be, the elite, and all those that are into the craft, they know that. You see. And this is the reason why so many lockdowns are going on worldwide right now. Because they want you to be in fear. They want to keep you from manifesting. They want to shift your focus. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the vaccines on this video because I am going to allow our guest speaker to go into depth about it because he has had time to research it all and to give you some gems that I really feel that needs to be dropped on this platform for those that are following. Shout out to my new subscribers. My channel is growing again. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. My goal was to be at 10,000 by the end of 2020. And I'm not there, but I know that I'll be there at the beginning of the year, and I'm contented. I want more than that, but you know how you reach one goal and then of course you set out another goal. So that's what I'm doing as far as goals are concerned. And so this is what this portal is about. It's about you hitting your goals. You using this energy that is anchored here on the earth for the time being for your highest good. Staying in your highest vibrations. Not allowing for anything that is happening in the 3D to distract you or to hold you back. Because this energy is very quintessential for the next 12 months. So for the next year, you're going to go into the new year with the energy that you hold right at this now moment. So I need you to hold the highest vibration because you truly are Christ manifested in the flesh. And when you are that deity, that God, and you're connected with that consciousness, there is nothing that you cannot do. The reason why I honor Christ and I feel that I deem it necessary to speak about this energy is because Christ is the only person written in the history of man in the books that have truly came sovereign being who has conquered death and who has abolished sin / karma, which is the same thing, and has taught his disciples and his magi's how to do the exact same. I do consider myself a follower of Christ. I'm not a worshiper because what is true of Christ is also true of me too. I have been very connected to Christ's energy ever since I could talk and channel Christ from time to time. So just as I'm channeling Christ now. So let's go ahead and talk about Jesus of Nazareth. One thing that you don't know, one thing that is misunderstood is his history. or his story. Over the ages, the historical accounts from the Gospels have been heavily questioned and critiqued, to the point where some scholars believe that there never was a historical figure by the name of Jesus. But there were, and there was. The readings of my favorite psychic, which helped me to tap into my psychic abilities a lot stronger, is of Edgar Cayce. Now, we also have Douglas Cottrell, who also tells a different story. However, the story of the man who was born to fulfill a prophecy and change the world with compassion remains a constant. If you follow these stories of the life of Jesus, you would know that he's a man that was born in a secret community known as the Essenes. You can find out information about the Essenes in the Gnostic Bible, which is the book of the Essenes, if you would like to know more. So in this community, they trained Jesus in the esoteric and mystery schools of the time, okay? And that will help him to be called a rabbi, a teacher, a master, and ultimately an avatar. Okay? For those of you that do not know what an avatar is, let me explain. An avatar in Sanskrit, pronounced avatara, is a concept in Hinduism that means descent. It is the material appearance or incarnation of a deity on earth. The relative verb to alight, to make one's appearance, is sometimes used to refer to any guru or reverend human being, such as we know my big brother, aka Jesus Christ. And this is the reason why I titled this video, The Second Coming of the Christ, Divine World Order. Now, we can now look, and we do see the aka COVID-19 plague. And I like what Cayce suggested, that whenever there is a severe or horrible calamities on the earth, like warfare, the plagues, the virus, terrorism, that you would see a corresponding increase in the number of sunspots on the sun. And that somehow our thoughts, our deeds, our activities are also reflected in the universe. Don't you know the power of bees know that? And so you know that now. So when you know better, you do better. Okay? You can even Google CMEs, sunspots. This is important. We need this in order for us to integrate. Okay? And so these things should not be ignored. I'm dropping gems on this video. This is the reason why I set it as a premiere. Because I don't want you to just overlook this. I don't want you just to peruse over this or gloss over what I'm telling you. Okay? Why should we study the life of Jesus? Because Jesus was the master teacher. A soul who had learned to transmute matter and even transcend physical death itself. Jesus is the epitome of evolution or ascension. And Jesus also exemplified the promise of the eternal life of the soul beyond the earth. So it matters. It matters that we follow someone and not follow someone in blind faith. Jesus has a very good track record. And Jesus demonstrated all the spiritual abilities and inspired his followers to express these abilities in themselves. You are the second coming of the Christ. With your Christ lit heart, your inner son, you are Christ. You are part of the Christos consciousness or Christ consciousness. But more importantly, Jesus came as a wayshore to teach us the mechanism to overcome the original sin of separation from the Christos through the application of the law of love. Let love be your theme for today. Let love overtake you and embrace you and coddle you. May you surrender to love today. Because this is what this open portal is all about. It's none of the conspiracy theories, the world ending, the world shifting. Well, the world is shifting, all right? But I'm just saying, it's not ending. Not in a physical or literal sense. So, if we, as adepts, mystics, if we follow his example, the promise is that we too may attain to Christ consciousness to be an avatar, a living God, while here on this beautiful earth. We will find out more in regards to Jesus' life, including his timeline and his time that he spent with the Theessenes and the Magi that he was in Carmel, and his education in Egypt, India, and Tibet. All of this information about Jesus is on the internet. It's in books. Jesus left a legacy. It's beyond the resurrection, and it's beyond the ascension. It's about your way of life and how to live it. He left a blueprint. Jesus is our big brother, and he showed us the way. That is the reason why he said that we would do works that are greater than the works that he did. And we are definitely doing that indeed. Many of us are healers, occultists, high priests. Now, I would like to tell you that Jesus Christ was not the only person conceived from immaculate conception back in his day. There were many. John the Baptist being one, coming before Jesus as a forerunner. In that time, in Jesus' day, in the community of the Theessenes, the Magi and others were looking forward to these type of births, as it was predicted that a great soul would be entering into the world. So the Magi's, aka wise men, they were wise because they went to the esoteric schools, not because they were wise in their own eyes. But those men who studied the signs and the stars in the heavens above were called and known as mystics. They were following the stars, remember, in the heavens. They were astrologers. Were they not? And so there was an expectation that they would be the ones to return to King of Kings. Now, I want you to understand that the law of Moses was based on the teachings of the mystery schools of Egypt. Remember when Pharaoh threw down his staff? And so Moses threw down his staff too. And what happened? He started to eat, or the snakes started to eat the snakes of Pharaoh. Because when Pharaoh threw down his staff, it turned into a snake, for those of you that don't know. And so Moses, being a Magi, going to those schools, knew exactly how to use magic. It was not a miracle. It was intentional. When you do something intentional, it's not a miracle. A miracle is when you don't know how it happened. Moses knew exactly what he was doing, and he knew exactly how it happened. Right? Like many in the world today that study the stars in the heavens and which time to clock events that would change the course of the world itself. Here we are today, and we're calling it New Age, and there's nothing new about it at all. It's quite ancient, my dear. And these are the things that the elites want us to be afraid of, because when we do not know, we do not have power. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. How can you be forearmed when you're not forewarned? When you don't have the knowledge that is necessary in order for you to know. You cannot. And in this time, going back to Jesus' time, there were those who expected and hoped to be the mother of the Messiah. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even know that Anna, Mary's mother, thought that she was going to be the one to conceive Jesus Christ. But she was not. And indeed, we can deem the mother of Christ as one that was very special. Okay? The fact that it skipped over her mother and that Mary would be the one to carry the Messiah is profound. As it is recounted in the scriptures, the angels would announce to those who were able to hear that their children would be coming into the world for different functions. To that degree, Anna conceived by Immaculate Conception as well. Did you know that? So it wasn't only just Mary. You didn't know that, did you? Dropping a gem on you. This is the reason why you guys should come to listen to what I have to say when I'm not just doing readings. Right? So the consciousness itself calls the body to go through what would be called the virgin birth. And there were two others. I already told you about the other one, which is John the Baptist. Then we got Mary. And now we have Jesus. These are the Immaculate Conceptions that most people do not know about and do not talk about. So in Mary's growing years, there were dreams that were given to her by Spirit that she would order and direct the younger children, and that's exactly what she did. Okay? Now, in this community, there was no domination over male over female, like we see today. There was an equality, unbeknownst to what you've been told. I'm going to say this again. There was an equality bringing forth from the Egyptian experiences that was stretched back in time to the symbols of the rose and the cross. There was expectation amongst the community of a group of divine children. As such, this occurred at that time prior to and at the entering in of Emmanuel, or the son of Joseph, who was later known as Jesus Christ. There were so many intuitive children back in that day in that society, but that society would collapse and changes will come about with political structures just the same way as it did today, you guys. Just the way as we can see it today. And that world became chaos, followed by a time of truth after a time of great woe. Kind of like what we're experiencing right now. Okay? So here we are. in these magnificent, delicious vibrational energies that are just waiting for you to take it in and harness it, and not to get distracted by doomsday and the end, but to step into your autonomy, readjust your crown as sovereign beings. As a sovereign being, no one can violate you. There is only one law, and that is the law of one. And on this law, all other laws hang on this very one. You have free will. No one can take that away from you. No one can force you to get vaccinated. But yet and still, I hear people have conversations about them being fearful and scared to not get the vaccination. They're not going to eat. Listen. God has not led you this far to turn on you or turn away from you. As last I've checked, God is still on the throne. Mother, Father, God is lovingly leading his and her children. We're not misguided. So what if we have to grow our own fruits and vegetables? So what if we have to do things on our own and eat off the land like our forefathers? That's what they did anyway. And why would you care about eating their GMO seeds, hybrid seeds? Anyway, what is to come is going to come. Fear is not going to keep it away. If anything, it's going to expound on it and draw it even more and make it even more magnetized, more abundant in its nature. So this is the reason why we need to focus on love. We need to focus on becoming Christ, the second Christ, manifested in the flesh. And I have come to the conclusion of this transmission. Thank you guys for joining me. And I will get out another video for the collective, which will be a tarot reading, but it will not be today. It will probably be more like tomorrow. All right, you guys. Be safe out there. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon, and it will appear on the channel. I now wrap you in my love, and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste.